Hi, in today's session we will talk about Kubernetes deployments. So Kubernetes deployment is an object of Kubernetes which is used for managing the set of pods. When I say managing the set of pods, which means we define the desired number of pod replicas to be created in the YAML definition. And the deployment makes sure the number of pods are matching the desired state that we define. Let's say for example I have created a deployment with a replica count of 5 in the YAML definition. So in this case the deployment controller creates 5 pods in the worker nodes. Basically you will have better understanding on it by looking at a demo. So let's get into the demo. So I'm in my code editor. I'll go to Kubernetes documentation, Kubernetes deployment. I'll take an example from this official documentation. So this has the example for creating the deployment. So I'll create a file in my local and paste the content. With the file name I want to create deployment.yml. Okay, so let me walk you through this YAML definition. Kind Kubernetes object we want to create is deployment, name of the deployment under metadata, so nginx deployment, and these labels are pretty much tags to our resources. So we can give a number of labels, like for example environment dev, like that we can add. This specification contains our deployment specifications as well as pod specifications under template. The number of replicas means the number of pods we want to create are 3, and if we give it as 5, it will create 5 pods based on matching labels. So this template contains the pod specifications. As you can see, metadata, these are the labels for our pod. So these labels should be matching with this label that we provide under selector match label. Then only the deployment will create the number of pods based on the desired count that we provide over here. So here app nginx is matching with the label of the pod which is under template. So what it does, as soon as we create the deployment, it will try to match the label of the pod. Since it is matching, it will create 5 labels, 5 pods. And the specifications for our container, like app nginx, it basically pulls the nginx image, and container port is 80. Since it is web server, it works on port 80. So I will save it. I'll go to the terminal, and let me see. Yeah, the file is created now. Kubectl apply -f deployment.yml, kubectl get deployments. As you can see, 5 pods are ready, means out of 5, 5 pods are running. Now if I do kubectl get pods, you can see 5 pods are running. Say for example, for some reason this pod is deleted. Kubectl delete pod, I'll delete it again, and if I come back to the same command, kubectl get pods, one more pod has been created, as you can see, 4 seconds ago. So that is how basically Kubernetes deployment makes sure it's matching with the desired state. Now if we do uh, kubectl describe deployment, our deployment name is this one. Now let me come here and show you the labels of the deployment, and selector app nginx is what we are matching with the uh, like the labels of the pod, and 5 is desired, 5 updated, 5 in total, 5 available. So out of 5, 5 pods are running. Now say for example I want to increase the number of replicas. What I can do is I can do kubectl edit deployment, our deployment name will be nginx deployment, I think this one. Yeah, if I come here, it will open the deployment in VI editor. I can come here and change the number of replicas over here. So press I for the insert mode. Let's say for example 8. If I do save, let's go back and see kubectl get deployments. Out of 8, 8 pods are running. That is how you can scale up the number of replicas in the pod in the deployment. Now if I go to kubectl get pods, our 8 pods are running. Again, if I delete any pod, it will recreate again. So deployment make sure it is matching with the desired state that we define in the YAML definition. If I go back to the documentation, we have a number of commands. This is the command that we use for creating the deployment, kubectl apply, that we have used, and the other one is updating the desired count. So we can updating the image. Say for example, we have older image running and that we want to update it to latest image. We can simply use this command kubectl set image, or we can use same command kubectl edit deployment. As I showed you, right? Kubectl edit deployment. We can come here and just update the image. It will take care of updating everywhere. So we can even use edit command or set image command. Similar to that, we have this rollout status and rollout history, all these commands. We will discuss about this like the rollouts and rolling updates, everything in the separate session. So for now, let's skip this part. And this is basically used for getting the status of the replica set kubectl get rs. If I copy this command and execute, it will show the replica set status desired 8, current 8, ready 8, means the 8 pods are running. Similar to that, we have some other commands like versioning of the rollouts, all this stuff. So we will discuss about this rollout status, rollout history, or the versioning of the rollouts, all this stuff in the separate session. But for now, this is all about the deployments. Thanks for watching.